Marked development in the Capitol riot investigation. For the first time, the leader of the anti-government militia Oath Keepers has been indicted for his role in the planning and execution of the Capitol riot. He is one of 11 Oath Keepers now charged with sedition, the most serious charge to date brought by the Department of Justice in its year-long investigation. Our chief investigative reporter, Eric Flack, has been all over this story since it broke just hours ago. He's live on Capitol Hill tonight to walk us through what this all means. And Flack, we know this is huge news, so let's start with the man at the top, the Oath Keepers leader, charged with sedition, but claims he never went to the Capitol, right?
Yeah, that's right. So Stewart Rhodes is the founder and leader of the extremist militia, the Oath Keepers, and he is now accused by the Department of Justice of conspiring with his co-defendants to stop the peaceful transfer of power starting around the November 3rd presidential election. Remember, the Capitol riot happened months later. Rhodes is a former Army paratrooper and Yale Law graduate. He is one of the most visible faces of the far-right anti-government Oath Keepers movement. But he had not been charged to date because there was no evidence he was at the U.S. Capitol or went inside it on January 6th. But in the indictment unsealed just hours ago, the Department of Justice alleges Rhodes communicated with his co-defendants for months using encrypted messaging apps, plotting to stop Congress's certification of President Biden's electoral victory January 6th. 10 others are now charged with sedition, along with Rhodes, including Thomas Caldwell of Northern Virginia. Caldwell and most of the others charged with sedition had already been arrested for their role, which included taking part in firearms trading in the lead up to January 6th, stashing guns in an Arlington hotel as part of a quick strike reaction force, and of course, storming the Capitol in that military-style stack formation, all of which the DOJ now alleges Rhodes helped plot and execute. So,
all right, Flack, so we're saying this guy Rhodes is really the biggest fish, if you will, in the government's investigation, and this is the most serious charge to be brought in this case so far. So the question then becomes, what took so long?
yeah, it's a good question, Zoe, so let's walk everybody through this, kind of starting with the charge itself. Its technical name is seditious conspiracy. It is when two or more people conspire to overthrow, put down, or to destroy by force the government of the United States, or to hinder or delay the execution of any law of the United States. In layman's terms, sedition is inciting a rebellion against the U.S. government, and it is punishable by up to 20 years in prison. So the Department of Justice has likely been building its case for 6 months or more, and it's a case that has likely been buoyed or helped along by the fact that 4 different Oath Keepers charged in the original indictment have now pled guilty, cut deals with the government, and flipped on their Oath Keepers co-defendants, people like Graydon Young.
Mr. Young, what are you prepared to tell investigators about your fellow Oath Keepers?
Young did not answer my question back in June as he left the U.S. District Courthouse after becoming the first Oath Keeper to plead guilty, eating a conspiracy charge, but agreeing to cooperate with investigators in return for a lighter sentence. So he is now one of 4 different Oath Keepers associated with this case to cut deals with the government and potentially testify at trial. So,
yeah, clearly prosecutors and investigators still on top of this.